there, it's Linda here. Thanks so much for joining me today as I'm playing with this fabulous new big happy birthday die from Mama Elephant. I'll be using my alcohol inks. I can't wait for my alcohol pearls to arrive, so until they do, thought I'd have a play with my alcohol inks again. So I've cut a small piece of Yupo that's going to be just the right size for die cutting with this Mama Elephant die, and I'm going to use a rainbow of colours on it with my little mini ink blending tools. As you can see, I'm just applying a small amount of the alcohol ink to the sponge on the end of the applicator, and then I just apply that straight to the Yupo. And I'm doing this because I want it to be controlled rather than just squirting the colours straight onto the Yupo. It gets you that very blended, mottly sort of look. I really wanted to get quite a substantial amount of colour, and I found that if I pounced the dauber on, as you're seeing me do now, or the ink blending tool, that really gave me some good colour. So I went back and did that with all of my sponges. So I really wanted a good concentration of colour and not just all small amounts, all sort of blended and mixed. So I do run out of handles, so I have to pull off the sponges there for the last couple of colours. So just pouncing on with the purple, and I've got all the colours listed below today. You'll be able to check what colours I've used. They'll all be in the details below. And last of all, a nice pale shell pink. And then I'm going to add some gold mixative. I do get a bit worried here because the last colour you add always seems to start to take over. So the shell pink was going a little bit further afield than I wanted it to, so I came back in with the purple twilight, and then I was going to do the yellow, and then I looked at that and thought, is that yellow? Jeez, it doesn't look yellow. So I just wasn't game to apply that to the piece in case it ruined it, so I left well enough alone, stepped away from the ink applicators and just applied my gold mixative drops and allowed it to dry. Now I'm going to make a little framed piece for the front of my card. So I've got these paper rose dies. This is an Australian company, and these are the perfect size for our larger card fronts. I don't know if my American viewers realise, but our cards are actually larger than yours. So I think your card front is 4.5 inches by 5. But if I measure up our average card front, which I'm doing right now with my ruler, it is closer to 5 3/4 inches by nearly 4 1/4. So those paper rose dies, because they're an Australian company, they fit perfectly. So I've cut myself a little frame, that's the darker teal, and I've got my die cut piece now. But I wanted more. I decided that it needed a little more something something. So I've gone back to making another die cut, and then I'm laying in, I'm not going to adhere these little inlaid pieces, I'm just going to lie them in position. And I'm using my pokey tool here just to poke them out and lie them down in between the inner portions of the letters, because I want to apply the gorgeous Nuvo Glimmer paste all over. Now I could have done that straight onto just the alcohol inked piece, but I thought it might become very messy in the inner portions of the letters. And you know, maybe it would have, maybe it wouldn't. I'm still not sure if it was worth my mucking around, laying all those little pieces in. I just felt that it would get messy in the inside pieces, and then I'd have to be poking them out and wiping off excess glimmer paste. So this way, as you poke out that little piece that's rubbish, that you don't need, the teal piece, it takes the glimmer paste with it, and you get a nice clean edge around the letter. So that did work fine, and I am very happy with the glimmer pasted piece, much more so than I was just with the alcohol inked piece. And now I'm going to add my frames to my card front. So this is the larger of the frames in that set, just perfect fit for our card fronts here in Australia. And then the next size down, I've got a pale blue cardstock, and getting that all sorted. And you can see two little Mama Elephant stamps. Here they are from the Little Dog Agenda set, which is absolutely adorable. I'm a big fan of dogs, and this set is just so cute. Of course, they've been out for a while. Now they're bringing out a mermaid one soon, I think, which also looks very cute. But anyway, stamping these with my Memento Tuxedo Black, which is Copic friendly, and then very, very quick and easy Copic colouring, just giving the dog a little patch. This one a little patch over his eye. I used E33 and 31 for both dogs. This one, really, he gets a couple of little patches, and that's pretty much it. I add a little bit of shading with a C1 and colour in the presents, which are teeny tiny and hardly take any time at all. And then I move on to the other little fellow who's going to go on the left hand side of my sentiment. This little one holding the star balloon. And as I said, very simple. Colouring him in with two colours. They're so tiny. You can get away with just two colours for your blending, and they still look pretty darn cute. So I give them some little pink cheeks with the little white gel pen detail in the centre, and then I'll use my dies, matching dies, to cut them out. Now, if you've got this set or ever thought of getting any of these sets, they are pretty small, as you've probably seen, and I do like to keep my dies, as you can see here on this card, all numbered up. Each die has a number on it, and then the number is also on the card that stays in the back of my stamp set. And then when I've finished with the die, I just place it back exactly. Number 10 goes with number 10, stick it down with a little bit of washi tape, and it keeps it all together. And my goodness, it's much easier than them all floating around in a bag or even stuck to a magnetic sheet. That little guide really helps. Here's my beautiful glittered alcohol inked piece, and I thought this was it. I thought, right, stick those down, I'm done, but I just wasn't altogether happy with it. So I decided I'm going to layer up this fabulous die cut, because it is fabulous. Cut it out of rainbow cardstock, and then I'll have lots of fabulous dimension, and that's just the extra something that my card needs. So going in rainbow order, using my liquid adhesive, layering each of the die cuts one on top of the other. Very simple, not hard at all. It's a nice thick die cut. The alcohol inked glittered piece on the top, and then glue on the back of that. Eyeballing here the center of my card from left to right and top to bottom, and then adding my little doggies on the side, and my card is complete. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope I'll see you again soon. Bye!